Here I am. I'm live. Infiniti here. It is 6:02. I'm a couple of minutes late. 6:02 here in the Pacific on July 1st, 2024. July 1st, 2024. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Happy July. Oh my God. It's Monday and it's a new month. I love Mondays and a new month. It's one of my favorite things ever. I'm trying to open my copal. There we go. This is copal, Amazonian white copal. I mix it in here. I put a few of these in with, they look like rocks, but they are pieces of resin. Just going to light this up. I have Palo Santo. I have sage in here. And now the copal. That is way too much power. Way too much force. Let's get that going. They literally start to bubble up. It's really, really cool looking. It smells fantastic. It's just like another layer of bringing in some real positive energy, pushing out negative energy from the space. So sage, Palo Santo, copal together. Oh my gosh. It is a lovely little soup. It is. I'm going to stick right here because it's like lovely right in my face. You guys can see it maybe. There we go. I'm pretty certain nothing's going to light on fire there. I'll let it go for a little bit with the sage. That sage tends to get really, really hyper. How is everybody? Whoop, 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 whoop. It is, oh my God, Monday, July 1st, 2024, you guys. I'm so excited for today. So excited. Looking very thank you. Thank you so much. I just got out of a bath. Felt fantastic. Oh, so good. You guys, baths are so important. They are literally essential. So important. So yeah, just got a bath. My hair is wet. That's going to keep me nice and cool because it's warm here. I think it's like 94 degrees here in Northern California. Who's this? Rob, hello. Fantastic, he says. Excuse me. Yes, I hope you're fantastic. I hope everybody's feeling great today. So stoked to have you here. I'm going to give it a couple minutes, hoping more people are going to come in. We're going to talk about my Soul Quest program. It is truly magical. It's a magical divine space that I and experience and program and community and it's like it's like a bubble of space that is like no other. It's hard to describe. I'm going to do my best to describe it. I have done the Soul Quest program with a group back at the beginning of 2023. I channeled the Soul Quest program in February of last year of 2023. When I was on a supposed hiatus because I was so worn out from the previous year and a half or two. And I am a workaholic. I don't take work time off. I work all the time. This is my life. This is my passion. And I go. And I fill up all the time with work and then just life, whatever. Yeah. So when it got towards the end of 2022, and 2022 is super, super busy. December of 22 was super busy. I talked about that a couple of times now on the podcast and over in different ways, how we had all this download about the gate of great awakening, the 1331 gate, and all right, there we go. And so I did a shit ton of work and channeling in December of 2022 when I thought I was going to take some time off. So by the time we got to January, it was like, you need to set up a good few weeks of nothing scheduled and just really recuperate. I was worn out. So that's what I ended up doing. I took February as a hiatus month, which I really needed. But in the middle of the month, me doing my meditations and all this stuff about, where am I at? Where am I going? What am I doing? What does my soul want? There'd been so many things coming and going. We had this gate of great awakening. It was seriously activating me. And then it started to come through this soul quest, this tapping into, not only for me, but through me, for everybody else, tapping into each and every one of our bodies. We have 6 bodies, and really tapping in with our soul, tapping in with our true identity that we have right now, not the identity we were, brought into a family with, or what we had when we were younger, or, it doesn't matter how old you are as you grow and evolve. And especially as you go through hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Hi. Welcome. And as you go through your spiritual awakening, you change, you become a different person. I certainly did. I mean, I have a lot of this, like core things that were me, but essentially I've become a completely different person over these last 12 years. And whether it's been 12 years or 12 months or 12 weeks, when you start going through a spiritual awakening, you see real fast how quickly things change, how quickly you change, how quickly the world around you changes because you're changing. And it's just that, but just longer and more of these different processes that we go through during a spiritual awakening. I actually wrote an article called The 8 Processes of Spiritual Awakening. It's on my Medium profile. I highly suggest that you check it out because it's very informative, very validating as to what's all going on there. In fact, I'll just take a second here while people are still hopefully coming in to join me. I'll find it real quick here, hopefully. Let me see if I could do a find. That's hilarious. That's exactly what I did last time. Yeah, it doesn't want to. That's so weird. I don't understand why it's doing that. It's not into finding things lately, or at least on this. Oh, let's see. When did I listen to me talk to myself? Bear with me. Excited to share this with y'all. Where are you, Mr. Article? I have so many. Oh my God. Seriously? Why can't I find it? Okay, I can't find it for some reason. It's not. I'm going to go back one more time. No. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what my problem is, but I can't find it. And I don't want to spend too much more time on it. Who's this? Manny. Sprinkle some spirituality on me already. You're so cute. I'm trying to find this article, damn it, and I can't. It's so frustrating. And when I try to do a find, it won't let me. It just, I know what it is, but I can't find it. Anyway, I'll see if I can get back to it here in a little bit. Or if anybody else can, knows easily how to get, where it's at. I don't know what my problem is. Anywho, the process of spiritual awakening, no matter where you're at through it, is a lot. and you change. And so this program also takes you through identifying your identity now and the who you are today, the who you have become, which is really cool. And a little, and then some. It's quite the deep dive into you, into what makes you you, and super concise and excuse me, and easy to go through. Excuse me. This is, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share and give you a look behind the curtain at what you get when you, at least when it comes to your maps, what, I'm not bit by bit, you're going to have to sign up and do it, but I'm going to just overview it for you so you can take a look. But this is designed to not take up a ton of your time. It is 59 days from when you get your first map to our last meeting, 59 days. And so that's 8 weeks and 4 days exactly. So I'll say it's an 8-week program. It's a 9-week program. It's 8 maps, 8 weeks. You get a map per week that is released to you on Mondays. We have a meeting on Thursday, and in between there, you have an introduction video from me for each map. That's about, I think they're around 20-25 minutes. They're not that long. And it's just me talking to the camera. So you don't even have to watch it. You can listen to it. It's not visual at all. So you definitely can just listen to it while you're washing the dishes or driving the car or whatever. Just consume that information. You don't have to dedicate sitting there watching me. And there's a spirit walk that goes with each map. So the way that it goes is introduction video, do your spirit walk, then go through your map, either a little bit day by day until you get through the end of the week on Sunday. Then you have another new map coming out. Or you can just decide, I'm just going to sit down and pound it out all in one sitting. And if you do that, it would take about an hour. So these are not meant to take up hours and hours and hours of your time. They're meant to help you get to the heart of what's going on below the surface in relation to each of your bodies. And you'll see as you go through the weeks how it all kind of connects back. And then at the end, you have an amazing book, basically, of insights as to what you need to focus on and work on and heal from in various ways. And everybody's different. It just all depends. It's not like now you're going to ABC exactly how you're doing it from there. This is about the recon. This is about the discovery process. You do heal throughout because you are asking yourself and getting aware, and things are coming up and all of that. And all sorts of stuff can sprout out from there when you start assessing yourself and asking yourself questions. That's what each map is. 30 questions and assessments that it's all about you, how you feel, what's going on, whatever, all of these, different things but it's all about you. And each question is supposed to be like max 4 or 5 sentences. They're not meant to be pages and pages for each and every question. So again, like I said, it only takes about an hour to go through. if you're going to sit down and do it all at once. And inevitably, there's going to be questions that you're just kind of stumped on, that you need time to think and process on, and ones that you do answer, but okay, I know there's more there. I got to get back to that. And you will, you definitely do. But we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you, the Soul Quest program, here, in just a second. I'm going to share with you the PDF. And like I said, you get released a new map every single week for 8 weeks straight, every single Monday. And we have our meetings on Thursday to review where any questions that you have about the maps, clarification or help with anything. We can discuss the spirit walk, or anything that's related to what's going on with you when you're doing the Soul Quest program. And it can be anything, but typically it's going to be like, let's review the map as far as you've gone so far. Did you start it yet? How far are you? Do you need any help with anything? And it's a really cool thing, because the more people are in there. And by the way, I am going to have a cutoff as to how many people can be in the Soul Quest program at any given time. I'm just not exactly sure what that cutoff is yet. I don't know if it's 10 or 15 or 20. But at some point I'm going to be told, and it could shift and change depending also on who's in there. Not everybody's energy is the same, and this brings up a whole lot, and it's really a magical place to be, because the synergy and the energy of everybody getting, connected with themselves and doing these spirit walks that are so magical. I love the spirit walks that came with this, that I downloaded with this program. They're all connected, obviously, with each of the bodies. So it activates your consciousness with your body, gets you in touch with each of your bodies. And the bodies are the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, the physical, the energetic, and the abundant bodies. So each map is going to focus on that aspect of you. Okay, my dog needs to go out. You guys sit tight. Tried to let him out earlier, and they came right back in, so I'll be right back, because he's just not going to stop. You want to go outside? Okay, well, don't start at me. I asked you earlier. Gets all pissy with me. Sorry about that. So it's a real nice, beautiful, healing introduction and setup into what you're getting into with the maps when we start with these spirit walks. They're astral guided, channeled, self-healing spirit walks that are specifically designed as I channel them. They're divine. They're amazing. They're astral. They're a portal into creation in a certain way, because this is all about the soul, connecting to your soul. So each spirit walk is another step into connecting you with your soul and your guides and guardians and that specific body, whether it's a spiritual body, mental body, emotional body, energetic body, physical body, abundant body. It gets you in that space etherically, energetically, in the web of life, in the container of creation and all of the energy. It's hard to put into words. And those spirit walks are, if you've done the cord cutting, it's on that level For my Unstoppable Empath group, that's all about learning energy cords and how to do your own energy disconnection, cord cutting, and cord resets. It's a very, very magical astral place you take yourself to each and every time. And this is exactly on par with that, but there's 8 of them. And you get them indefinitely. You get this entire program indefinitely. This is a lifetime membership. So let's get into that. Hey, Karen, welcome. Karen and Adrian. Hi, Karen and Adrian. Hello, happy July, beautiful sisters. Welcome. So glad and stoked everybody's here. Again, if you don't put a comment in, I don't know that you're here, so please say hello, introduce yourself. I am on X, YouTube, and my Facebook page, coming to you live here on July 1st, 2024, talking about the Soul Quest program. And now, how it is a lifetime membership access. So let's talk about what you get with that. So you get, first off, with this program, to start when it works for you. I have it relaunching from that first time that we did it back in early 2023. We ended at the end of May. I literally moved up here to Northern California the very next few days later, like a week later. My life changed as I was facilitating and doing the Soul Quest program. Like, if there's ever a testimonial to this life really kickstarting some changes for you, it was just watching me and go through that. And you'll see some of that as you watch these introduction videos, because I talk about it. And I thought when I recorded them, I was like, I'm going to have to re-record these, because whenever anybody does it in the future, this is going to be this old place and time, and it's not going to apply. And my guides came through and said, absolutely not. That it's magical watching you go from week to week to week as you're downloading and facilitating and living through this experience. And I was like, okay, that's true. That's very true. So you'll see if you do the program, when you watch those intro videos as they go on, my life is literally mirroring the body that we're working on and how I'm facilitating it and what's going on through me as I'm channeling and facilitating this program. I really have wondered, preparing for this, to keep going and facilitating this program, now that everything is settled from that first kickstart that changed everything for me, how it's going to go as I facilitate it. Because what I was getting at about being able to start at any time is that once I start and once we kick off July 15th, doors open. That's going to be the first day when when you sign up with me, and you do get a discount if you sign up for this program and group and membership. By the 7th of July, which is the start of our Stargate, you sign up by that day, you will get $100 off if you pay in full and $50 off if you choose any plan. Because I want a decent group starting off with me as I kick this off. But as we move forward, you can start at any time. So I'm not going to be running this 8 weeks, 9 weeks at a time, and then taking some time off and running it again a few months later, because then that's just not maximizing my time and how I can facilitate this and how people can come in and how this can be something that's ongoing. So the way that it's set up is, once the doors open on July 15th officially, and I'm facilitating this program and having these weekly meetings and holding space for this, that it's going to continue. So the benefit of that is that if you start with me on the 15th and Larry, let's say, starts with me on August 1st. You're going to be two maps, I believe, maybe three, depending on how the weeks roll between July and August. But you're going to be 2 or 3 maps ahead of Larry when he comes in with map 1. So when we're in our weekly meeting, there's going to be people there on different weeks and doing different maps, and this gives us all a look constantly at the different maps, whether I'm discussing with somebody and a question or something to do with them on map 2 or map 7 or map 8, whether you've done them before or you haven't done them yet. You're getting a lot of insight and extra goodies there as we share in this container at any point in the journey that you happen to be on. So when that came through for, when I start this back up again, I was like, oh my God, I love that. I love that. So people can start anytime. You're never behind. You're on your own weekly pace. And I can address you no matter where you're at when we have our weekly meetings, which are going to be Thursdays at 3:30 Pacific. And if that time doesn't work for you, then I do have other meetings that rotate for my Unstoppable Empath group that I can stay, after that ends. You can meet me at the end if you absolutely can't make it. But I had to pick a day and a time that works for me so I can sustain this. And I will try to accommodate other people by meeting you at these other times if that works. But hopefully it works for you. That takes us to 6:30 Eastern. And I don't know, maybe at some point I'll have to change the day and the time, but I had to pick a day and the time to start. And with all the other things that I have going on, that was the time that I was guided to. Okay, so the other aspect of this program that is lifetime is that you are encouraged to do the program again, which means come to the meetings, do the whole thing, like sign up again. I mean, you can do that. You'll have the maps that you had when you did the program. I may be guided as time goes on to adjust the maps, do some things, put some different, questions or assessments in there. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. But you'll have the maps that you had when you first did it. You can go through on your own and redo a map at any given time that you want. And do the spirit walks again too, or just decide some, like, you know what, I really feel like I've got to get into my, emotional body in the next, this week or for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to redo the emotional body map. You can do that totally on your own, and you're highly encouraged to do that. This is a program that just gives and gives and gives as much as you decide to use it. But when it comes to officially doing it again, you can take it up to 2 times a year indefinitely, which that's a lot. I think once a year is probably a lot, or that's just the process of going through it. And then after you go through all the 8 maps, after the 6 maps, the 6 body maps, we have the your true identity map, and then we have your spirit name map. I'll get more into the specifics of that in a minute, but after you go through the whole thing and you're officially out of the program, you're still in the Soul Quest community. And the way that I work that is I have 2 Facebook groups, one for people that are actively in the program and one for people who have done it. So questions to be asked and conversations to be asked as you're doing it with me. And then when you get out of a totally different community, that's you graduate from this group, go into this group. Now you've all done the Soul Quest program. And even after you're out of the program, I want to be connected to you. I want you to be able to go, yeah, now I'm, whether you're working with me in my other groups or working with me one-on-one in a plan or a program, to have that connection, to be able to say, yeah, now I'm working on what we mapped out and I have some questions or whatever. It's just like this bonus that you get for going through the program. So unlike a lot of courses and programs that you just take a course, you listen to the meditations, you kind of do it on your own, or even ones that come with live guidance from your facilitator, usually just get that once. You don't get to come back again and again and again and again, maximizing as you move forward, because again, you're continuing to evolve, hopefully. And hopefully, if you do this program, you take yourself really, really seriously in your ascension, your spirituality, your healing, the desire, the absolute need to take yourself and your life and your soul missions and life purpose so seriously that you do something like this. This isn't for everybody. For sure, this isn't for everybody. This is for people that are really serious about focusing in on themselves, really putting the thrusters on overdrive to get as much practical information about where your vulnerabilities are with your fears, programs, illusions, traumas, triggers, whatever, that need attention, that need healing, that need acknowledgement in some way. And again, this program isn't to do all that work. There just isn't time for that. This is to get your assessment, get to do your recon, get your inventory, see at the end, putting all the pieces together of all the different maps, what keeps coming up. And I make it really, really easy to figure that out. So as you're moving, after you're done with the program, you're guided to take some time, no more than a month, to process, the last couple of months. But then you're guided to review all of your maps. It doesn't have to be week by week. You could get them all. You could review them all in a couple of weeks, but you go back and review them all and see where you can fill things in. Okay, I'm moving you. I keep knocking you over. And after you've gone through them, it's different when you do them one at a time the first time. And then once you have them all, to be able to go back and see where the overviews are, because there's overviews for each map. And then you're left with, okay, now I have all this information about what I need to do with myself to chip away at this. Where should I, where do I start? What should I do here with, where I'm going? And we leave those questions to, when you get there. And that's what the container is for the private group afterwards, because again, whether you're doing it on your own, you're working with me in a group, or doing something else entirely, when the idea here is to not just get this information, but to actually then get active, then do the healing, do the shadow work, then spend time, really dedicating and prioritizing the rest of the work that is to come from doing the Soul Quest program. It's not, this is the work and this is the healing. This is the understanding and the reassimilation and calibration into me being so consciously attuned and prioritizing myself and my ascension and my spirituality and my health and my life force and my, identity, that who I'm supposed to be, so I can live as authentically as possible. But to be able to do that, we need to know what's holding us back, because we all have things that hold us back and hold us back from our highest vibration, because we have things that are programs and perceptions, and perspectives, stories and illusions, and different ways that we've been brainwashed and experienced life, that tell us to not move forward in different ways, to be afraid, to feel limited, to allow negative energy to remain in our systems, within our bodies. And any dense negative energy that we're cycling, that we're holding on to, that is part of our battery, is lower vibration. Because remember, anything that's like fear-based, anxiety, stress, illusion, programming, negative, toxic, brainwash type stuff, 3D matrix things, things like that, are lower vibrational, because they're meant to keep us in a lower vibrational state. Higher consciousness is higher frequency, higher vibration. So we live in a higher state of being with higher timelines. And the idea of the Soul Quest program is to be connected with your soul. Ultimately means we move things out of the way that hinder that clear connection to our soul. So we're practically working with ourselves to be as high vibrational and conscious as possible, through acknowledging what's running that keeps us in a limited state of beingness. And it's all very, very personal. But the way that the program's designed is these very specific questions bring out the information that you are not normally thinking about in your day-to-day life. You just don't. Why would you? You're just doing you. You're processing your life. You're going day to day. You've got shit to do. So we don't analyze ourselves to the degree that these maps make us analyze ourselves too. And in a concise way. Like I said, there's about 30 to 35 questions per map. And you can do, 5-6 questions a day, or you can sit down in a couple of days and, split it up, or you could do it all in one day. They're not meant to take up a lot of time the first time you go through them. They're meant to get out what first, pops to, and to move on. That's instructed in it. Like, you don't go, oh, I'm going to sit here like, oh, what's this question? What's this assessment? I'm going to sit for the next 2 hours and contemplate it. It's like, no, what pops first? What comes up? Like, what is the, just what is that? Write that down. And if you're stumped after 5 minutes, you're like, I got nothing. Move on. Answer and come back to it. And again, so practically speaking, this is something that doesn't take a lot of time. It's about 3.5 hours a week, unless you decide to do the spirit walk 3 more times. I mean, I did have people do that. The first time we did the Soul Quest program, they were like, I love this spirit walk so much, I did it 3 times this week. And I'm like, all right, so, then obviously if you decide that you're going to spend way more time on the map, and go back and back and back and really dedicate, hours and hours to it, I guess you could spend more time on it. But you would really have to try. It's designed so you don't have to carve out a ton of time from your busy life that you're already doing, that you're already living. And this is meant to make that life easier and better through it and afterwards as well. So at this point, I want to show you a bit of what you would be seeing when you do this program. Let me just hold on one second. Let me move a couple of things. I'm going to share my screen with you. How is everybody doing? And thanks for being here again with me to go over the Soul Quest program. So let's get to it. Share screen. Entire screen. Okay. So I'm going to minimize this and show you. I have this in a PDF. I have this 59. Oh, that's way too big. Can I make this smaller? No? Why can't I make this? Oh, there we go. Oops, that's bigger. 59. 59 days, you guys, to complete this program. And it is a weekly program. There is no going at your own pace. It's start whenever you want, but it is a consecutive 59 days, 8 weeks and a couple of days. It is part of my Shaman Circle group of offerings. The other group that I have for the Shaman Circle is the Awakening Empath Shaman Circle. That is an ongoing weekly circle where there isn't any type of program or course attached to it. It's all very what's in the now, what's going on now. And then there's different tiers for different things that you get with it. If you're interested in that, check it out on my website, The Awakening Shaman Circle. But first to be born was the Soul Quest program, channeled and facilitated by me. What does my soul want? To reunite with me. That's what my soul wants, to reunite with me. That's all our soul ever wants to do. This is a soul mapping program, connecting to my true identity, life purpose, soul destinies, and my spirit name. When you were to actually do this, it says by signing below, you are committing yourself and your to yourself and your soul that you will fully complete this soul quest within the 9 weeks allocated, or as close to that time frame as possible. Now, of course, what am I doing? Pressing the wrong things. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Why isn't, there we go. Hold on, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I just want to get here real quick. Okay. Because things happen, you may be like, okay, I couldn't quite finish, the last, all of the last map or this or whatever. It's kind of one map is bleeding into the next week. I got to finish up a couple of questions there as the new one's coming and you're a little bit, behind or whatever. That's fine. It's not like, oh, I'm just not going to do it this week. You're committing yourself to doing it this week. And then here it's also that this is not to be shared. If you were to sign up, that this is meant for you as somebody who's paid for it or is paying for it and doing the program. So there's that. Of course, that's on the honor system, that sort of thing. So this is what you would get. I go through knowing your soul and your true identity. What do I want? Here, your soul is dancing with the light and ready to connect with you on this quest. Then I get into the 6 bodies. I don't know what that's doing. Okay, there we go. Overview of your 6 bodies here. And this is, we go clockwise. So we start with the spiritual body map, then we do the mental body map, then the emotional, then the physical, then the energetic, and then the abundance. Those are your body maps. After that, we have the soul maps, which are your true identity and your spirit name. So this is me telling you really how to set yourself up and the things to do when you're doing the Soul Quest program, and just information that about being in the program, and more information here about how to do these maps and being true to yourself and not doing a false map, which would mean that you're just not being super honest with yourself. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here. Maybe not that much. Each map comes, or body comes with a map. You have your intro here, me telling you about this map, what to think about, how to get into alignment with yourself to get into it. We start with the spiritual body, the spiritual body map. And this is what each map looks like. They're super simple. You print them out. They're meant to be something that you write, or you can, you don't have to print them out. You can also just have a, if you don't have a printer, if that's too inconvenient for you, what you can do is use a journal and just write, you get your maps and you would just copy down what that question is in your journal or other paper and then fill it out that way. But essentially you're printing out these pages, and that's about as much space as I'm giving you for each question or assessment. It's not, like I said, 2, 3, 4 sentences for each question or assessment. So this is all the spiritual body. And then we have the review. This is the review page, and says, go over your answers to the previous questions and write out your thoughts considering the following question. What stands out? What are you surprised about? What came up that you didn't expect? What are you most motivated to work on? How should you prioritize your spiritual body moving forward? How did this map help you connect with your soul? So you have this review after each map to then get more clarity on what you did. And then after that, this would be the, I have to update this. But show notes. So this would be your meeting notes. I'm going to change this to meeting notes because this was a totally different thing the way that I did it the first time. But this would be the meeting notes. So then in our meeting that, for you that week, you would put your notes here and more here. Okay. So that is what they look like. Here is the mental body. Again, there's this introduction into the mental body that I get into here. And then the questions and assessments for a few pages here. And that's it. So you can see it doesn't go on and on and on. It's how many pages? I think there's 5 or let me see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some of these only have 2 questions. Some of these have 3 questions, 6, 7. Okay. 9 pages. And then we have the review. The review is the same for every single body. What stands out? What surprised you? What are you most motivated about? For each one. Show notes and then your own notes here. Same thing with the emotional body and so on and so forth. So we have that all the way through. Emotional body, physical body is after that. And then why is the mental body here? Okay, there's something got messed up there. I've got to fix that. I don't know why there's pages there. Then we have the energetic body. And then after the energetic body, we have The abundance body. That is the last body map. I have to see what's going on there with the mental body. That was weird. Boop, boop, boop. And then on week 7, we have your true identity. So it's a different kind of map, and it's called identity shift here we get into. And then the questions here about questions and assessment about your identity shift. And then after that, we have your spirit name, connecting with my soul and spirit name. And this is not to say that by the end of this week, you're going to know your spirit name, but it's about understanding what a spirit name is, that you have a spirit name, and starting to massage that awareness and let things come through. I was surprised, and I did not expect it with the first group that I did last year. So this is all spirit name connection. I did not... And then we have the end. This is the end of it. So that is a little preview on what you would get week by week. You don't get all of these at once. You get each piece of what we're working on as we're working on them. And so, not to overwhelm you or anything like that. That, like I said, they would be, where are we? Oh, there we are. I lost you guys. Let me stop sharing. Okay. So, so you're not getting that full at the end. You're going to have all of that. But it's parceled out week by week on Mondays. They get released. You download them along with the spirit walk. You watch the introduction video. And again, ideally, you watch the introduction video or listen to it, do the spirit walk within a day, and then start working on your map. Have some of it, if not all of it, done by Thursday if you want, when we have our weekly meetings, which are going to be recorded. You can watch on a replay. And if you have to miss a meeting, you can watch the meeting that you missed. If you know you're going to miss a meeting and you can't come to the other options that I have for you, you can always post a video question in the group, and I can address that in the meeting for you, for everybody. And then you have the next through Sunday to complete that map, to do the spirit walk again, to take a couple days off, however it's going to be for you. And each week might be different. It's not all going to be the same how you go from week to week, map to map. But a new map is going to be released every single Monday. I'm going to be there for a meeting every single Thursday. And also the Facebook group. First, when you're actually in and doing the program, and then the group that you graduate to afterwards, that everybody goes to when they're done with the program, but in the review stage and beyond. You have access to that private group with me as a member of the Soul Quest program indefinitely. It's not like once the 8 weeks are done that you get kicked out, which is another big benefit to being in that container as well. Okay. Are there any questions up to now for the Soul Quest program? Does anybody have any questions, how this works or anything about it? I'm going to queue up my my website actually. What's that? Oh, I'm going to take a second here. Let's see if I can go a little slower here as I wait to see if you guys have any questions. I'm going to see if I can easily find that article that I wanted to share with you all earlier. I don't know why it's... There it is. Oh my gosh, I got to remember. I did it in November of 2022. Okay, I had a hard time finding it last time. That's why I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay, here's that article in case you are interested. It is called A Quick Guide, The 8 Universal Processes of a Spiritual Awakening. I highly suggest taking a look at that. And then I'm going to show you the actual web page for the Soul Quest program. No questions then. Okay, nobody has questions. Alrighty. No questions, no comments. Okay. This is my website, infiniteempathtransfigurations.com. You can also come here just by infiniteempath.com. I have both domains because Transfigurations is very long. So here you would find it under programs and plans. There's the Unstoppable Empath. Here's to enroll in the Soul Quest program. Here's details for the Soul Quest program. There's that weekly shaman circle I told you about. It's the Awakening Empath Weekly. Totally different. All of these groups are totally different from the other. The Unstoppable Empath group is working very specifically on your cords, learning about energy cords and me helping you through the process of disconnecting all of your or cutting and resetting your energy cords. It takes several months, but it's all about that. And then the Awakening Shaman Circle is, like I said, it's not a course, it's not a program, it's a very loose container where we talk about the current events and what's going on cosmically. I channel, I can do oracle readings, I can do energy work in those meetings or spirit walks. You bring whatever's going on in your world with your spiritual awakening, which after the Soul Quest program, if you a wonderful way to transition from the Soul Quest program and to keep going with how you're going to work with yourself, how you're going to do your shadow work, how you're going to, use those maps would be to join the Awakening Shaman Circle or the Awakening Empath Shaman Circle, because you still continue to get weekly meetings with me. And depending on what tier you choose, you would get a monthly meeting or a weekly meeting or personalized energy work or oracle readings. There's 7 tiers of options for that. So you can check that out too. That is over here under Weekly Shaman Circle. But here we are with the Soul Quest program. So the ultimate mapping your shadow work. Okay. And what? The ultimate mapping your shadow. I think that's, what did I miss? Oh, I messed up on my own. Messed up my website there. Perfect. Welcome to the Soul Quest program. I think I missed an in. I don't know how that happened. But here we go. It is a group program. It's 9 weeks, lifetime access. Repeat the program indefinitely. Like I said, meetings are Thursdays at 3:30. If you're absolutely unable to attend the meetings at 3:30, you can come at the tail end or meet me right after my other meeting. So I'm keeping that open. But here we go. The Soul Quest program, guiding you to answer these important questions. What does your soul want? What is your true identity? What is your life purpose? What are your soul missions and destinies? What are your next steps? What is your spirit name? So I get into, I'm not going to read all of this. If you're interested in this, I want you to check this out for yourself. Spend some time here reviewing this information. Paste. When does it start? It is okay. So the day that I am officially like doors are open to be in the program is the 15th of July, where that would be the first day that you would get a map released to you. If you start when I have, when I launch, and if you sign up by the 7th of July, to start with me on that day, like I said, I have discounts for that. $100 if you pay in full and $50 if you do payment plans. And I'm giving an extra $50 if you refer a friend to both you and your friend as well. So you can get as much as $150 off for if you start with me when I have it, when we launch in July on the 15th. That means that the first meeting is going to be the 19th. So, right, 15, 16, 17, 18, or is it the 18th? Now I had that date in my head. Now I just lost it. Oops. The 18th. So that would be the first week. Or you can start at any time thereafter. You can start the week of the 20th. You can start in August. You can start whenever you want. Or you can start with me when I launch and get the goodie discounts. Because I would like a good group of at least 5 or 6 people, or maybe 4 at the very minimum, to start with me on when, doors open and get the ball rolling. But you can start anytime thereafter. I do take payments for it. Like I said, up to 6 months is what I have on my website. And let me show you that here, where it says enroll in the Soul Quest program. Takes you to this other page. It says Soul Quest program, 9 weeks. The program is $9.99. And there's 4 plans available. You go info and join. And then it just gives you more about the program, what to expect. Like, it has this little overview of the schedule of the release. And here it says single payment. And here it says 4 plans available from $200 a month. And then you do join. Oh, you have to log in. If you're not already a member of my website, you create an account or you log in. I guess let me just log in really quick. It's gonna make me sign in. I'm not sure. Oh, that's like, is it gonna let me do I'm not sure if that's gonna work either, because that's that's actually the account for this. No, it's not going to let me, because all of oh no, it did. Okay, cool. It's taken you here to decide here on what plan that you want. 2 monthly payments of $499, 3 monthly payments of $333, 4 monthly payments of $250, or 6 monthly payments of $200 is where I have it set up. However, I am willing to, if anybody is really wanting to do this program and needs a bit of a longer time to pay for it. Now, keep in mind that the program is actually, it's 8 weeks plus a couple days, 2 months. But I have it set up that you could take up to 6 months. Is that what it was? 6 months to pay me? And it's well over and past when you've done the program. But I've done that to be accommodating. But if you need more time than that, and it's just a matter of, that being the case, if you, not, doing the program or not doing the program, please reach out to me. Okay, so back to the details page. Again, we go into what the bodies here or the body maps are and the soul maps. So more information here about it, and just details here about what you get with this program. And then the schedule, what comes out, week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way up to week 9. And this revolving program start, which is to say that, when you can start. This really is sliding scale pricing. $9.99 is the minimum donation. And if at any time you are taking this, or you take this program and you're like, you know what, I think that it's worth, or I want to, donate more to Infiniti for this, then you are welcome to it. But it starts at $9.99. That's the minimum I'm accepting to do this program. It is lifetime access. Like I said, you do get to stay in a private container well after you've done your live program. And it is invaluable. This $9.99 price tag is very low for what you get. If you really do the math, I'm not going to do the math for you. I'm not that salesy at all. But if you do the math and you go, okay, even if I do this once a year for, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, how much is this working out to be? It's cheap. It's very, very cheap. Even if you did it every other year, it's still very, very cheap what you end up getting for it, especially being able to come back and do it again and again and again every single year. So it turns out to be very cheap if you utilize it in the way that it's meant to be. So, not a ton of information here. It's just going to bog you down for hours reading about it, but there is some, more information. I suggest that you read about this here, and how it, consume it on your own time. So you can, I don't like reading my own website to people. I feel like that's a waste of time when you can read that for yourself. But I encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you're considering this. Those questions are not answered on the website or in this webinar if you're watching this in a repeat or the replay. But again, it's very important to understand that while being in this program is naturally going to have healing effects, it's going to naturally take you into shadow work. It's naturally going to shift and change your perception and move you into a different lane in your spirituality, your spiritual awakening, and your ascension. How can it not when you're digging so deep within yourself? It has to, but the real work that it's meant to do, it's meant to provide you with, is after the program, when you have all the information and you can see for yourself what needs to be done. Again, whether you do move forward on your own, you work with me one-on-one, or you are in the Awakening Empath Circle, where I can help guide you through your process of transmutation and work and self-healing and all the good stuff that you're going to be getting into as you decide to chip away. Let's say, like, oh, what's really coming through again and again is the mother wound, is the money wound, is my, stuff to do with relationships or sexuality or the divine feminine aspects or expression, or it could be all sorts of stuff. Like, there's going to be multiple things that is going to be revealed for you. Some of it's going to be, yeah, I knew this. Some of it's going to be like, wow, I didn't realize it was to this extent. And some of it's going to be like, I didn't realize this at all. And all of those things need to be acknowledged. And there's a lot of crossover, of course. So it really depends on the person exactly how they want to begin, where they're going to start, moving this mountain to get it out of the way. So you have a clear path forward on your journey, that you do as you're acknowledging and transmuting and healing and having whatever experience that you're meant to have, that you're guided to have through this. And it is unique, that you have very clear information as to at least the themes and the topics or the archetypes and the timeline loops or whatever that would pop up, that you would say, okay, this is something, these are the things that I need to do and work on in whatever different ways that you're meant to do that. So I don't want people to think that it's a ton of this work week to week to week. And then when you're done, because that's not what this is. This is about doing your assessments and your recon and your inventory to see how you begin and where you go from here. Like I said, this isn't for everybody. This is for people who really want to dig deep, taking their ascension, their spirituality very, very seriously. This is for people who intend to continually work on themselves in a deep way. And really have their eye on the prize for living your ultimate reality, as soul connected as you can possibly be. That's the vibe and the energy that I live in, that I'm guided to facilitate, that I'm guided to bring people through. While it's in flow and unique and, not, it's not super structured, because when it comes to this stuff, that doesn't really work. But what does work is, the end goal is information about me and what's energetically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the different ways, what all of those pieces put together, and where are the parts that need work. And it's also does this thing where it really, through the assessments, lets you know where you've really healed already, what you've already evolved from, where you've been, and how to really acknowledge yourself on your journey so far, to see where you've been and where you are, and that helps a lot, to be forced to make those connections, because we just keep going. Like, it's one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year at a time. We just go. We're not just, at least most of us aren't sitting around and going, how much have I grown? How much have I evolved? What have I transcended? What programs and limitations am I no longer, connected to? Like, you're just living it, but this makes you see all of these big growth, bridges that you've crossed, and that is really important as well. So it's not all like, oh, this is just going to tell me all the things that are broken that needs fixing. This is also going to tell you how you've already evolved and why, like you're there for a reason. If you're doing this program, you've evolved to a certain degree already. You have healed and shifted and changed already. It's about acknowledging that. That's where the true identity comes in. It's like, where, who am I now that I've gone through what I've gone through so far? And I have these new perspectives and these new feelings and connections and ambitions or goals or whatever that it may be, to help solidify who you are now. So that helps you figure out where you're going and how you're going there as well. And remember, the goal here ultimately is to be soul connected, as connected to your soul as possible. And when I envision that, there is this like, and this is not to acknowledge or to give any type of, weight to the simulation theory, because this is not a simulation. But what's similar to that is that if we can see ourselves as the avatar and picture our soul, our highest self, our soul, with the controller, and then the energy, the cord that goes from that controller to us, and how we maneuver in this world, in these incarnations, we want that connection to be as clear as possible. So we have the easiest, smoothest journey forward, because our soul is dictating us and we're not confused about what we're meant to do with ourselves from moment to moment. It also is very helpful when we're connected to our guides and guardians in a really clear way, because if we're really clearly connected to our soul, we're really clearly connected to our divine counterparts, our guides and guardians, from our guardian angels to crossed over loved ones, to ancestors, to archangels and galactics, and anybody and everybody that you have access to. The clearer your connection is with your soul, the clearer your connection is with everybody. And the clearer your connection is with everybody, the easier life is, period. Because you are divinely living. Your soul essence is more and more embodied, and that is the experience that you're having, versus the human that is disconnected, separated, and seemingly alone, without direction as to what they should be doing with themselves at any given moment, for the little things to the big things. So the sooner we can be as clear as possible and continue to work on more and more and more and more clarity as we move forward. And that's the idea. We move forward and the road just gets bigger and brighter and wider and wider and wider as to what we can perceive and be connected to and collaborate and co-create through, because we are raising our vibration. We are getting into a higher place of consciousness. We're soul connected. We're divine guides and guardians connected. We through that, we automatically live in our highest timelines. We're above the lower currents of energy and fear programming, because through this program you learn what these fears, programs, illusions, limitations, blocks, triggers, traumas are, that are holding space within you, and you realize, I need to fix this. And fixing that means transmuting, that means eliminating, that means it doesn't affect you in any of your bodies and any of your chakras or energy systems. It's not energy, dense negative energy, toxic energy that lowers your vibration and messes with the system. Any friction, any tension anything that is dark or of a lower vibration keeps you from being of a higher vibration. Obviously, there's only, so much there. You can't, it just cannot work any other way. You eliminate the dark, you have more light. The more dark you have, the less light you have. That's just how it goes. And when we say, I want to eliminate as much of the dark stuff as possible, the stuff that keeps me limited, it's not to say, we're not saying your shadow side is to be eliminated. Everybody has a shadow side. That's a beautiful thing. We need the light and the dark of us. This is about the dense negative programs and illusions and fear-based matrix that holds a lot of our understanding of ourselves and the universe and creation in a certain state that is limited. Once we take these away, things open up and more can come through. So that's the process that we're looking at here. That's the end game, the end result that we want, that we're looking for. Really, this is ascension. This is ascension is literally raising your vibration, and there is no limit. When we hear the term and the word ascended masters, these are people who kept rising and raising their vibration more and more and more and more, and got more and more and more magical because they hold such a high vibration. They could do very extraordinary magical things and be connected higher and higher and have the perceptions that they did and be the people that they were. We all have that, ultimately have that capability, but there's a method to getting there. And that is by really working on ourselves. And through working on ourselves in such a way, the divine wisdom and knowledge that is meant for us to know automatically comes through. So you're not missing and never going to miss anything. The doors will open to everything that your conscious awareness needs to be plugged into as you're moving forward. Okay. Any other questions? I hope that answered your question, love. Any other questions or comments about anything to do with the Soul Quest program, how it works, or anything else like that, please let me know. Ultimately, when you embark on this journey, you're signing up for really an adventure in discovery and shifts and changes, because there's no way it can't make those things happen. You're building a magical space for yourself to really honor you as a divine incarnate, as someone who's meant to really bring in super high vibrations into this reality. And that's a beautiful thing. But like I said, timing is important. And this is why I make it really easy for you to start at any time when you're ready. But I want you to consider also that there's always going to be a busy life that you're leading. There's really, not the best time. It's just grades of that. because life isn't just going to automatically open up and go, look, you have 2 solid months of really doing nothing. You could totally do this program. Like, that's just not going to happen. Just like other big things in our lives, moving, quitting or starting a job, getting married, having a baby. Like, there's just certain realities that it's just like, I just have to pick a time and do it. Sometimes you're going to be like, well, I'm in the middle of moving right now. This is probably not the best time. Yeah, I get that. But if it's like for the foreseeable future, life is status quo, you work, or maybe you don't, or whatever the case may be, and there isn't anything that's really requiring an extra amount of your energy, and it's the normal shit, then it's about saying, I'm going to move things around to the extent of being able to commit to this program of the 30-minute intros, the spirit walks, and doing the maps and going to the meetings for these 8 weeks or 59 days. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to design my schedule so I can do this. I'm going to not do X, Y, and Z so I can do this. And again, it's not that long. It's not like 6 months, of doing this program. It's 2 months. It goes by really fast, but at the same time, it's important to be fully in it, fully docked into this experience and make the most of it. Thank you. Thank you from Karen and Adrian. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. I hope that this program is something that if it speaks to you, you decide to read more about it, and go to the website again and take a look at it. Oh, there's another thing I'd like you to take a look at too. Let me just share it with you right here. Right. It's on, and I've got to move that. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's hard. I have Soul Quest program testimonials under where my other testimonials are. So I have all my client testimonials, video testimonials, Soul Quest testimonials, right? So all testimonials are next to each other. They're just on a different menu. Under consultations and services, I have where all the testimonials are as well. But you can read these. And there are, again, video testimonials on my website as well under the consultations and services. And I do also offer free consultations for those who want to work with me in my long-term groups and possibly work with me one-on-one. And I do offer one-off sessions from psychic readings and oracle readings, energy work in different capacity. They're donation-based, and you can get to those from my website as well under consultations and services. I do work with adults, kids, and animals. My favorites are definitely the kids and the animals. I'm not going to lie, but I do work with adults, kids, and animals from my home here in Northern California to my clients all over the world. Everything I do is remote, from the energy healing with animals or kids or adults to the groups and my long-term plans. At some point in the near future, I'm going to have some type of in-person thing. I'm not sure what yet that I'm going to host here in Northern California. It'll be a big deal. Have not been guided to set that up yet. So for now, everything that I do, thank you, Sandra and Michelle. Everything I do is over video conference and being live on here. So I've been doing that since well before the pandemic. And it's efficient. It's easy. I can work with people all over the world. You get to stay at home and in bed in your comfy space. You don't have to go anywhere to get healed. It's fantastic also for me. And I just love that. So check out the different services that I have for healing and spiritual guidance in the different capacities. Like I said, I have one-off sessions, I have groups, and I have the long-term programs and plans for the individual as well. This Soul Quest program is special in that it's a finite amount of time, but it's also lifetime access, and you get the container of the Soul Quest member Facebook group indefinitely as you go on your journey for community and me chiming in to give you direction here and there for, as you're going forward. And I think, and I know a lot of these things, there's just not the way most programs and healers and guides do things. I do things very differently. I set things up very, very differently than most people do when it comes to working with me. Again, the Soul Quest program, the minimum donation and the way those payments are set up is for $9.99. And I'm offering these discounts to start with me on this relaunch of the Soul Quest program. Again, if you pay in full, $100 off. If you do payments, $50 off. If you have a friend join, $50 off for you. So consider that, consider timing and when it's right for you. Again, reach out if you have any questions. I guess that's it. If nobody has any questions at this time, I appreciate everybody for showing up, for joining me for this webinar for the Soul Quest program. I hope that you have some more insight about it and how it works and what it's all about. And that you're excited about it, and I hope you're guided to join me, and if not for the Soul Quest program, maybe something else, or maybe just to follow me and get to know me for a while and see how you're guided in the future. So I guess that's it for now, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see y'all later. This Friday on my podcast, we're going to be discussing NPCs, non-player characters, and I am going to be doing oracle readings for a few people. I still have one spot left. I had 3 people sign up within minutes of me posting that. And I have one spot left for Friday's podcast. Minimum $11 donation for an oracle reading with me on Friday on my podcast. You can donate directly from my website as well. Reach out if you're interested in that. And I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Mwah. Bye. See you later, alligators. Bye.